So Marilyn Darling from the Emergent Learning Community Project now. I chose to contribute to the Foundation Review just because there had never been an article. It was just a basic article about emergent learning, and I thought this was the place where it needed to be. What I think we need to work more on overall in the foundation world is transparency. One of the principles of emergent learning is making your thinking visible. And it's just quite striking to me how little of that happens, not just inside of foundations, but across boundaries between funders and grantees, between other external partners, between executive teams and their boards, between executive teams and their organizations, their staffs. It's just stunning to me how much that gets in the way of us doing the kind of work that we need to do in this sector. I was actually we've been very surprised by the uptake of our article in the Foundation Review. And I think part of it has simply been because in the last half of the article, we sort of give away the store. We gave away all of the practices and tools of emergent learning, and you can go off and practice them to your heart's content. And I think that's actually uncommon as a consultant, which we were at the time, to do that. But it was for a reason, and that is we care about people having a point of view, asking a set of questions that weren't being asked regularly. So, and anyhow, I think that a lot of the popularity of our article came from word of mouth among people who were doing things and noticing they were just getting different results. And I think that it gave people an opportunity to look differently at the tension between strategic philanthropy and responsive philanthropy, to see that we talk about the metaphor in our article of the chess player versus the team sport, the soccer team. And it gives people a different way of asking, how are we being as strategists? Who owns the strategy? And what's the responsive element inside of a strategic philanthropy approach? And what's the strategic component inside of a responsive philanthropy approach? So in a lot of ways, we're just sort of asking different questions, and I think it's refreshing. Foundations are wanting to achieve and needing to achieve bigger goals than they possibly can and faster than they possibly can, which has put a huge amount of pressure on everybody inside of the foundations and all of the grantees that foundations are working with, and all the communities and everybody that's involved in the ecosystem, to try and figure things out faster, and being frustrated that they can't. So one of the things that emergent learning, I think, provides is it isn't trying to improve grant making. It isn't trying to improve board relationships. It isn't trying to improve agency among communities. It's not trying to do any of those things, but it creates the conditions where everybody in a system can work on all of those things all of the time. So regardless of what strategies you've set forward, emergent learning asks, what are the little arrows? What are the hypotheses behind us making this strategy work? What are the hypotheses behind us engaging our communities in a way that's going to help us all achieve the goals that we're looking for? And it's not just at the executive level, it's not just the program, it's not just the learning officer, it's everybody. So the idea of emergent learning is really that anybody can ask a better question at the right moment in time and open up the conversation. So it's about trying to make our thinking visible to each other, really be clear about what we're trying to accomplish, and then noticing that we actually have a lot of opportunities to try our thinking out in the work, and giving people tools and practices to make it possible to do that, to turn work into a learning experiment, to take evaluation data, by the way, and make meaning of it, and actually try to apply it to what we're doing every day. So whatever the domain is, it gives everybody in that ecosystem a chance to be basically like a member of the soccer team, right? Thinking together, trying to solve problems together, and on a day-to-day basis. And it's not trying to do anything grand. It's just like in the moment asking different questions. So I think that's appreciated by executives, leaders in foundations. I think it's appreciated by everybody else in foundations and with their partners.